The shadow toward the end of the Russia-Ukraine war. August 5, 2025, 5:52 p.m. Under the overcast sky of the Pacific Standard Time Zone, a man stood by the window of a small office. His name was Oleksandr, a former Ukrainian diplomat turned recluse, yearning for peace. The calm sea outside his California view belied the storm raging in his heart. The Russia-Ukraine conflict, now in its third year, had dimmed all hope. Oleksandr unfolded an old letter in his hand. It contained a proposal from the Turkish Foreign Ministry, ceasefire negotiations, to be held in Saudi Arabia. A mediator is needed. He let out a deep sigh, gazing out the window. The war had reduced his hometown of Kyiv to ashes and taken his beloved wife and daughter. Yet, this offer might be a chance. He picked up the phone on his desk. Meanwhile, in Moscow's Kremlin, Vladimir Putin presided over a meeting with his strategists in a dimly lit room. The cloudy sky beyond the window sharpened his cold expression. "We cannot retreat. Donbass is ours," he said in a low voice. But his advisors brought troubling news. Over 1 million soldiers had been lost, and the economy teetered under sanctions and inflation. A young general hesitated before speaking. "The people's discontent is growing, Mr. President. Anti-war protests are increasing." Putin's eyebrow twitched, but he responded with silence. In Kyiv, President Volodymyr Zelensky held a late-night cabinet meeting. On the table lay the latest NATO weapons support plan. "We will defend our land. But to end this war, we need another path," he declared firmly. One of his advisors cautiously suggested, "What about the Saudi Arabia negotiations? Perhaps yielding some territory?" The room fell silent. Zelensky stared out at the ruined city, lost in thought. Though 63% of the population opposed giving up land, the mounting casualties were becoming unbearable. Days later, negotiations began in the opulent conference hall. In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Oleksandr sat as a mediator. Putin's representative smirked cynically, while Zelensky's envoy met him with a steely gaze. A UN representative attempted mediation, proposing Ukraine's neutral status, no NATO membership, and a temporary freeze on currently occupied territories. Putin's side demanded more land, but Oleksandr's persuasion led to a tentative agreement. However, as Western support waned, Ukraine faced internal backlash, and distrust toward Putin grew within Russia. The talks seemed on the brink of success when an explosion rocked the hall. It was a terrorist attack. Oleksandr collapsed, his final thought, flickering, "Peace doesn't come this easily." The war flared up again, with a strong likelihood of continuing into 2026. Yet his sacrifice planted a small seed. The growing resistance within Russia and Ukraine's defiance held a faint hope that true peace might one day arrive. This story is far from over. The shadow of war lingers, but the human yearning for peace burns on.